And at this point, I'm back. Hi, I'm Nat Samberg, in case you didn't know.
But by the way, Nat, there's something that we've all wanted to learn.
What's that?
Well, all of us in the TV classes during the past semesters.
You have questions?
Yeah.
You have questions?
Oh, yeah. We wanted to know, what does Shakatulis mean?
You want answers?
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who are taking some of John Shields' courses in movies and directing, Shakatulis is the new Rosebud. Those of you that have seen Citizen Kane will understand the reference. Since this is for broadcast television, we'll have to have that discussion after the show. Anyway, let's move on to the best documentary.
For our documentary, it's a combo of new directors, person to person, with interesting people, visuals, and good interviewing skills. All of which were learned in the TV3 course, especially in the director's ENG.
So let's get to it. For Best Director, the nominees are...
When I went home to review the footage, it was garbage. It was like an hour and a half of just grass and my dad screaming. So
they knew it from their studies what static electricity is, but today they had some hands-on activities. And when
the final pillar for the album was actually viewed from here.
So what do you think of Jackson's guitar playing?
Well, ever since he was a kid.
And the winner for Best Documentary goes to Alex Ravello.
Thanks, guys. Took a while, but you know, you do the best you can and you get good results. I'd like to thank all my friends who were in that, and my mom, my dad, and Lord Jesus Christ.
Every one of us that have been in the TV courses for the last year, or perhaps 2 years, sometimes it is asking for insight. Sometimes it is a call of desperation. Sometimes it is pure frustration when any of us, and depending on how we modulate it, say, Omar! Throughout these terms, throughout these semesters, Omar Mercado has been the person we turn to for technical help when AVA or something on our computers is crashing or something is going kaflooey in the control room. Omar has, I'm sure every one of us can testify, has saved our you-know-whats time and time and time again. They tell a story about David Ben-Gurion, the first prime minister of Israel, who made a visit to the White House when Harry Truman was president and when an Israeli prime minister could go to the White House comfortably. And after chatting about the various issues of the day, so President Truman asked Ben-Gurion, I don't understand why you can't resolve these issues. I'm the president of 200 million people. You only have 3 million people that you're responsible for. So Ben-Gurion said, Mr. President, you don't understand. You're the president of 200 million people. I'm the president of 3 million prime ministers. It's only now that I appreciate what Stony Duran, our professor, how challenging his job is. Other faculty members here at NCC have to deal with students. Stony, you have to deal with directors. And all of us in this room, all the students from 1 through 4 are directors. So give yourselves all a great hand as I proudly and with great humbleness introduce Omar Mercado and Stony Duran. I guess Stony is and Omar are both speechless, at least for the moment. Or this is, for those of you that one of the jobs of a floor manager is knowing the signs. When you go out like this, it means stretch. When you go like this, hurry up. So I see it's, ladies and gentlemen, Stony Duran.
And that delay in coming down here was coaxing Omar in to come down, so that's what it took. This is our 11th year doing the AVAs. And each year has gotten better, but the last 2 years have been our top shows. Everything has flowed so smoothly, so easily, as I think all of you can attest to. And it's all due to Omar's work. As we've gotten new equipment, it's Omar who learned to use it, Omar who learned to apply it to the different projects that we're doing, the projects that you're doing, creating our digital news sets, our digital interview sets, and making our academic video awards run like the Oscars. So it's his hard work that has made it work this smoothly. Now, before I started doing the Academic Video Awards at Norwalk Community College, I taught at Eastern Connecticut State University. And we started a music video awards, and it had the theme and the idea of what we do here. So pretty much I used that as a testing ground until I got to Norwalk Community College. And from what I had done at Eastern and from what I started to do at Norwalk in 2005, one of the other professors from another community college, which will remain nameless, thought it was a really good idea. So they tried to institute the same type of a program. Now, over the years, every time we have our student presenters, what I'm always telling them that their primary job is to tell our guests what they really had to do in each of these projects to make them work. What were the parameters they had to do? And I always knew that what I wanted to do was only come up here at the end, say a few words, and let them run the show. The other community college that tried to do this, the director of the program, my position, stood up here for the whole show and did all the awards. I think he missed out on all the talent that he had at his school. And so, after surviving me for 2 years, usually what we do is we pick out some of those students who survived in the best health. And those are our outstanding students. And to acknowledge them, we also give a special AVA award just for surviving this whole mess. Dan Aguilera. If you guys would, just kind of wait. I'm going to have you all come up at one time, so have a seat there, Dan. I know you're enthusiastic. Nate Samberg. And Michael Squires. Michael is not here, but I'm sure we'll manage to get this award to him later. Nate, in addition to doing all of his projects, spent a lot of time helping everybody else do their projects. And if that wasn't enough, every time that Omar and I got called on to go and shoot some crappy little program that some other department was doing.
We'll have to edit that.
Yes, you do. Okay. Nate graciously went down and recorded it, saving us much time and effort. One of the things that has happened with all the students, and it's just the way they all work together, is that my job has become very, very easy. Because when I teach the TV1 class, which by the way is everything they need for the other 3 courses that they're going to take, the students who are in the TV2 course, the 3 course, and the 4 course all get together and they help the TV1 students as they're working on their projects. The students working in TV2 get help from the TV3 and the TV4 students. The TV3 students get help from TV4. It makes my job so easy. But it's that kind of camaraderie that develops in this type of a program. And it's something that you just can't get an award for. But what you can get is applause. So gentlemen, come up and get your awards.
Do I stick it on here?
I'd wait to get home, it'll go on straight.
Okay. Nat, how about you go first?
I think, yeah, go ahead. You're the older one.
Okay.
Service.
Well, guys, thank you for giving me this award. It's been a difficult journey. Really difficult, actually. Yeah, I would spend a lot of time in the TV room doing the work all the time, and it would be very difficult. And right, Nat, you would agree?
Oh, yeah.
It would be long as hell. Yeah, exactly. And I'd like to thank my parents, Stoney, Omar, like everyone else did. And also, again, myself, like last time, because I love it. Yeah, also Nat too as well. I want to thank because you actually helped me out in some of the stuff that I needed help with. So thank you. You going? All right.
So, as some of you might know, 2 years ago, around this time, I was suddenly out of work. A few days after, got hit by a car, and was really just floundering around the house. That's not a cue. That's just maybe pick up the phone, call the bullpen, call the bullpen.
Exactly.
Get Mariano.
Yeah.
And one summer afternoon, I kind of was driving around, just come from an event at Norwalk Hospital, and decided to take a look around. And that's kind of how it started. And there's a Judaic concept called Hakarat HaTov. And I not only want to take this time to thank Omar and Stony for all their help, their wisdom, their understanding, but how they cultivated a culture, as Stony alluded to, where the TV2 helps the ones, the threes help the twos, the four helps the threes. It's that kind of culture. And I actually picked that up my first term here from Unal Sutman, who was a student at the time, and he was helping us out while we were on the night class with John Hartwell. So if you somehow plug into the show when it airs, Unal, you have my thanks and my gratitude for setting up, for being part of this culture. And frankly, you would be on my, if I was to have a crew, you'd be on my dream crew. No question about that. And I want to, and my takeaway from all of this is the opportunity to thank my mates who have allowed somebody who could probably pass for their grandfather to be amongst you, perhaps join in some of your conversations, not always understanding the wavelength or the depth and breadth of them, but I presume that you don't always understand my perspective. And I'll always be thankful not only for the opportunity to help you come along in understanding how the control room works, or AVID, or whatever other issues come up, but I will always value the idea of having conversations, of connecting with students of different generations. You have a lot to say. You have your own experiences. And now that you are learning about these tools called cameras and microphones, the trick is to communicate with an audience, to use those words, to use those sights, to use those experiences in life to go out and communicate. And I thank you for these days, these blessed days, these sacred days, believe me. Go out and tell your stories. Tell your stories. Thank you.
I am moved, Nat. Thank you for that speech. To piggyback off what Nat said, the best camera is the one that you have with you, and that's something that a famous photographer by the name of Chase Jarvis said, and that couldn't have been any more true than with a lot of the projects all of us have done. But going back to tonight's show, about stars and everything, I brought binoculars earlier, but for some reason they disappeared, and I guess that's the universe telling me something. I don't have them.
You don't need them, because all of our stars are really close. They're all sitting over here. And whether you won tonight or you didn't, it doesn't matter, because you're all winners and you're all stars, and you should be really proud of yourselves for all the hard work that you've done.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. So there's food and beverage. We appreciate everybody coming. So hopefully we will see you next year. And thank you.